Have you ever felt like life is slipping out of your control? There are moments when everything around you seems chaotic, leaving you anxious about the future. You might fear that all your efforts are in vain, that reaching your goals feels impossible. You may wonder why obstacles keep piling up, or why external circumstances and emotions have such a powerful grip on you. In this unpredictable world, it's easy to become entangled in negative thoughts and societal pressures. We lose sight of something incredibly important. The real power to control our lives lies within us. Stoicism, a timeless philosophy, offers practical guidance to help us break through psychological barriers. It can lead us to self-mastery, helping us build lives full of passion and purpose. Stoicism isn't just abstract theory. It's a guide for reclaiming the control you've been longing for. Life will always present challenges and change, but you don't have to be swept away by the tide. The first lesson Stoicism teaches is how to master yourself. Once you understand that controlling your actions is key to controlling your life, you'll hold the key to creating the life you truly desire. With this self-awareness, you will be able to move forward with clarity, focusing on what truly matters. You'll know what you want, and with that knowledge, your path will become clearer. However, no matter how grand your ambitions are, they remain dreams unless you push past hesitation and take action. Overcome procrastination. Conquer those invisible fears. Only then can you boldly pursue what you must do. Taking action is only part of the equation. To sustain progress, you need solid daily habits. Think of them as the building blocks of your future. Consistency, paired with self-discipline, ensures that you don't give up halfway. Discipline keeps you grounded and moving forward, helping you break through barriers you once thought insurmountable. But life isn't only about action. It's also about emotional intelligence. You need to learn how to transform your emotions into a compass that guides you. Don't let negative feelings drag you down. Understand them, harness them, and use them to make wise decisions. This emotional mastery is crucial for moving towards something greater. Remember, you won't always be able to please everyone, and that's okay. It takes bravery to say no to things that aren't aligned with your purpose. By focusing on what truly matters, you can move powerfully toward your goals. Free yourself from the need for external validation. Your life is yours to shape. Don't let others' opinions determine your direction. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but don't be discouraged. These very obstacles are opportunities in disguise, chances to transform adversity into strength. Every challenge is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone to growth. Above all, you need to cultivate an unwavering belief in yourself. This belief will guide you through the darkest moments, leading you to become the best version of yourself. As you journey through self-discovery, from mastering yourself to building confidence in your abilities, you'll come to realize a profound truth. The control you seek over your life has always been within your hands. Every thought, every action you take shapes your path and your future. You are the architect of your life. When you understand this, you'll feel more empowered and confident to pursue what truly matters. If you're ready to embrace change, take a moment to commit to yourself. Hit like as a symbol of reclaiming your control. Share your thoughts or story in the comment section. Your experiences can inspire and motivate others on their own journey toward mastering their lives. Don't wait. Let's begin this journey together. Master yourself to create an authentic life. Mastering yourself is not just a lofty ideal. It's the foundation of living authentically. For anyone willing to walk the path of Stoicism, true freedom lies not in external circumstances, but in awareness and self-regulation. Few are willing to face this truth because it demands abandoning the temptation to blame others or outside forces, and instead, fully accepting responsibility for oneself. Life often feels uncertain, chaotic, and beyond our control, but within this chaos, there's a point of power, a space where you can take command. You can shift from reacting passively to actively shaping your own path. Stoicism offers profound wisdom here. Focus only on what you can control. We often fall into the trap of trying to control everything, from our careers to relationships, our finances, and even our future. We fear that without control, life will spiral into chaos. Yet the paradox is this: the more we try to control what is beyond us, the more frustrated and helpless we become. As Epictetus taught, some things are within our control, our thoughts, actions, desires, and attitudes, but others, our bodies, property, reputation, are not. This distinction is central to Stoicism, reminding us that trying to control outcomes is an illusion. When faced with difficulty, the question is not whether you can change the situation, but how you can improve yourself. How you respond in those moments determines whether you truly master yourself and live authentically. Take a moment to reflect. You invest effort, time, and energy into a project. You consider every detail, yet the outcome isn't as you expected. It's easy to feel like a failure, but ask yourself, have I given my best? If so, then there is no need for disappointment. The only thing within your control is your effort, not the outcome. Stoicism teaches that what truly matters is the process, the way you approach challenges, not the final result. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you let go of the obsession with results, you discover peace within. True strength emerges not from controlling external circumstances, but from mastering yourself. This mastery becomes a shield that protects your core values. No matter how much the world pressures you, the more you focus on what you can control, the more liberated you will feel. Anxiety often arises from vague fears about the future, imagining that things might not unfold as we wish. But once you accept that many things are beyond your control, a weight is lifted. Instead of trying to bend life to your will, you learn to accept, embrace, and redirect your energy toward what truly matters, yourself. This is not resignation. It is empowerment. It is a conscious choice to invest in refining your actions, thoughts, and perspective. From this place of self-mastery, peace and confidence begin to emerge. You'll discover profound tranquility that no external force can shake. It is this letting go, not clinging on, that helps you remain steady in life's storms. In every tempest, you stand firm, not to resist, but to endure without fear, without anxiety. This is resilience born from within. It is courage, knowing that how we respond to life determines our happiness, not what happens to us. This realization nurtures the ability to be fully present in every moment. So often, we are consumed by worries about the future or regrets from the past, forgetting that the present is all we truly have. Once you understand that only the present moment is within your control, you will feel lighter, freer. The mind no longer tangled in what can't be controlled. You will experience true liberation. When you master yourself, life opens up in ways you might never have imagined. A door to creation of the life you truly desire. Yet, this is only the beginning. For that life to hold meaning, you need a guiding light, a beacon that illuminates the path ahead. A clear goal, simple yet profound, directs your thoughts and actions toward the future. It is this goal that ignites a passion to overcome every challenge. Living with such clarity of purpose forms one of the core foundations of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us not only how to confront life's difficulties, but also how to live meaningfully and with fulfillment. For the Stoic, a goal is indispensable. It shapes the course of life and provides a motivation to rise above all obstacles. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This emphasizes that self-awareness is essential before action. One must first understand who they aspire to become, and from there, take the steps needed to align with that vision. A goal serves as a compass, guiding you toward your destination, reminding you why persistence matters. Without a clear goal, life risks being swept away by external forces, societal expectations, the opinions of others, or uncontrollable events. Living without direction is like a boat adrift on the sea, vulnerable to life storms. A clear goal, however, is your guiding light, ensuring you remain on course even when everything around you seems to be in flux. Stoicism teaches us that the purpose of life is not something bestowed upon us or found externally. It is something we uncover and define ourselves. The journey to finding meaning is profound, one of deep self-discovery. It requires asking the essential question, what truly matters to me? Once the answer is found, a remarkable transformation begins. You take control of your life, no longer guided by the pressures of society or the standards of others. You become the architect of your path, one grounded in authentic, personal values. Your drive is no longer fueled by recognition, status, or wealth, but by the peace that comes from knowing that your actions align with something deeply meaningful. The pursuit of purpose, however simple, becomes your true compass. When you live with a purpose that you have defined for yourself, not only do you live a life worth living, but you also find freedom. Freedom from external expectations, freedom from the fear of failure, and most importantly, freedom to be your true self. The Stoic view of life's purpose is not one of distant goals or a final destination to be reached. Rather, it is in the journey itself, a continuous process of growth, learning, and development. Along this path, there will be moments of failure, of missteps, but it is precisely these that make us stronger and wiser. Life's purpose is ever evolving, shaped by the experiences and insights we gain. What once seemed essential may give way to deeper, nobler values. But what remains constant is a commitment to live consciously, to live with awareness. Stoicism does not demand perfection, for perfection is an illusion. Instead, it encourages progress, small steps forward each day. This philosophy helps us accept our flaws and use them as fuel for personal growth. It is in stopping the cycle of disappointment and learning to view our imperfections as the raw material from which we can craft a better self. The sense of purpose is a fire that keeps our soul alight amid life's storms. When challenges arise, purpose helps us see beyond the immediate struggles and keep moving toward the broader journey. It reminds us that every setback is part of the process. Each obstacle is a step closer to our ultimate destination. Without purpose, life risks becoming a series of days lost in noise, pulled toward goals that hold no true meaning. But when you find and define your purpose, life begins to shift. You no longer seek validation or approval from the outside world. Instead, you live truthfully, grounded in your own values. This alignment brings peace, even amidst the clamor of the world. Purpose also simplifies decision-making. When you are guided by your mission, tough choices become less daunting. The world presents countless crossroads and distractions, but with a clear purpose, your path becomes straightforward. You can make decisions with confidence, knowing they align with your greater goals. Living with purpose builds resilience. When you feel connected to something larger than yourself, failure becomes a stepping stone rather than an end. Setbacks don't weigh on your soul. Instead, they propel you forward, helping you rise stronger each time. Purpose is both a compass and a sacred belief, shaping every step you take. You are not just living. You are living a life that holds meaning, a life where every decision reflects your unique values. Finding your purpose, however, is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing journey of self-discovery. Begin by taking time for self-reflection, disconnecting from the noise of the world to listen to the quiet voice within. What brings you joy? What gives you strength? These are the first signs of your purpose. Yet, true purpose is not solely about personal fulfillment. It is also about contributing to the world. Ask yourself, what can I offer that adds value to others? Purpose often emerges from the challenges we face. Setbacks can provide clarity, revealing strengths we didn't know we had. It's important to be patient. Purpose doesn't appear overnight. It takes time, experimentation, and at times mistakes. Trust that if you remain authentic, your purpose will gradually reveal itself, guiding you forward. In the end, purpose is not a fixed destination. It is a journey of growth and exploration. As you learn more about yourself, your purpose will evolve, expanding with your experiences. What matters is staying connected to your inner self and living in alignment with the values that are true to you. Living with purpose not only helps you navigate adversity, but also brings fulfillment, knowing that your life is moving towards something meaningful. Transformation is built through steady, deliberate steps. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us that profound, lasting change isn't about quick, sweeping gestures, but the small, repeated actions we take each day. While rapid transformations may seem exciting, they are often fragile. True, lasting change comes from consistent, intentional actions that gradually take root, making our lives not only resilient but deeply meaningful. Overcoming hesitation isn't merely about acting. It's an expression of courage. But this courage isn't a flash of impulsive bravery. It's a calm, enduring flame, fueled by wisdom and clarity. It's the courage to face uncertainty, to risk failure, and most importantly, to own the consequences of our choices. This courage is not born from reckless abandon, but from a deep understanding of what is in our control. While we cannot dictate every twist of fate, we can always control how we respond, our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. And in this, we hold our greatest power. When we act with intention, we release ourselves from the invisible shackles of hesitation and anxiety. Imagine the freedom of no longer waiting for the perfect moment and simply choosing to begin now. Hesitation traps us in a cycle of fear, magnifying worries until they dominate our lives. But every step we take, however small, diminishes that fear, gradually loosening its grip. True freedom doesn't come from having life unfold exactly as we wish, but from having the courage to act, despite the uncertainties and imperfections. The power to control yourself, to make choices that are aligned with your values, is the ultimate freedom. We've all experienced the temptation to wait for that perfect moment, when conditions align, when all risks are minimized, when everything falls into place. But does such a moment ever really arrive? Life is full of uncertainties, and in our desire to avoid them, we often forgo the chance to act at all. Hesitation, more than anything, is the enemy of time, and time waits for no one. Marcus Aurelius wisely reminded us that it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Remember, in this journey, no one expects you to be perfect from the start. Stoicism teaches us that mistakes are inevitable, but they are not defeats. They are opportunities for growth. As Seneca wrote, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Every action, no matter how small, is a new beginning. And even if you stumble at the first step, that failure opens the door to other opportunities. Time is fleeting, and every moment that passes is part of life slipping away. The only time we truly have is the present. Don't wait for perfect moments. They may never come. Hesitation only binds us in a spiral of regret. Acting now isn't just about living fully. It's the very affirmation of our existence. When you hesitate, you're allowing the invisible weight of fear to suppress your potential. Instead, take a deep breath, focus on what you can control, and take action. Your potential is limitless, but only if you dare to begin. Break down your challenges into small, manageable steps. Every action, no matter how small, is a victory. These victories build over time, making you stronger, more confident, and capable of greater things. Stoicism urges us to focus on what is within our control, not to waste time worrying about what lies beyond our reach. Once we internalize this truth, we realize that the greatest power we possess lies in our ability to choose our actions. Small, deliberate steps, whether it's moving forward or simply reflecting on your thoughts, can transform hesitation into purposeful action. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I act now? And what will I lose if I don't? When you ask these questions, the truth becomes clear. Procrastination not only wastes time, but also compounds worry and regret. Each time we fail to act, we carry a heavier mental burden, and fear grows stronger, eroding our courage and faith in ourselves. Our lives are not measured by how much we ponder, but by how often we dare to move forward, how often we choose to act in spite of uncertainty. Remember, action isn't just a way to move ahead. It's how we discover who we are. Every time we overcome hesitation, we reaffirm our inner strength and build greater confidence. Don't let time slip away without taking initiative. Act not for immediate rewards, but because each step you take brings you closer to freedom, self-respect, and a more meaningful life. By acting now, you're not only shaping your future, but also enriching your soul with strength and tranquility. As Joan Baez said, action is the antidote to despair. Finally, remember that transformation is not a single event. It's a lifelong practice. Taking immediate action may free you from hesitation in the moment, but true, lasting change requires ongoing effort. Stoicism teaches us the power of small, intentional actions aligned with our deeper values. Over time, these actions form habits, and it's through these habits that we create lasting change. As James Clear notes, success is a product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. Small, daily actions, whether it's reading a few pages, exercising briefly, or meditating, form a foundation for sustainable growth. These small steps, when repeated consistently, accumulate, propelling us toward greater achievements. In the face of daily challenges, our willpower may falter. But if we cultivate habits that align with our goals, we create a system of actions that carry us forward even when our strength wanes. Every decision, no matter how small, demands something from us, our willpower. By the end of the day, the weight of accumulated tasks can leave us feeling drained, hesitant, and sometimes unable to act as we wish. Yet, habits work in a different way. They don't fight for our energy. They sink deeper into us, guiding us quietly and powerfully without demanding our constant willpower. When a habit is firmly rooted, it no longer requires conscious effort. It becomes a part of you. There's no need to ask, should I do this? You do it because it is inherent to who you are. It's no longer a matter of decision-making. It simply happens. Imagine a life where you no longer battle with yourself to wake up, to exercise, to pursue your work or passions. Instead, each day flows with the rhythm of your habits, effortlessly aligning with the person you have become. Consider the example of athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo. He doesn't summon willpower to train or adhere to a strict diet. His routines are ingrained, a natural part of his life. His success is driven not by constant effort, but by the repetition of habits that maintain his peak performance. By cultivating the right habits, you create a life of discipline and focus, laying a foundation for continuous growth. These habits free you from the constant strain of willpower, releasing energy for what truly matters. Whether it's writing, exercising, or meditating, daily actions chip away at your potential, transforming you into the person you wish to become without overthinking the process. However, for habits to hold real value, they must align with your core values. Without this alignment, they lose their purpose. Stoicism teaches us that our daily actions must reflect our deepest convictions. As Seneca reminds us, we should associate with people who help us improve. This principle extends beyond others to the habits we form. The habits we cultivate should uplift us, drawing us closer to the purpose of our lives. Ask yourself, what truly matters? Who do I want to be in 5 or 10 years? Once you have that vision, take small, deliberate steps each day. If you want to grow stronger, begin with daily training. If knowledge is your goal, read and learn each day. Transformation is not born from grand gestures, but from the steady, persistent progress of small steps. Consistency is a quiet virtue we often overlook, but it is the key to shaping lasting habits. Anyone can begin something new, but few possess the patience to sustain it over time. It is only through persistence, through the courage to repeat small actions day after day, that lasting change takes root. The Stoics believe deeply in the power of daily effort. Each day presents an opportunity to lay another brick in the foundation of your life. Mornings offer sacred time to align yourself. They are not just for preparing the body, but for setting the tone of your mind and spirit. Starting the day with intention and mindfulness allows you to step into the hours ahead with clarity and purpose. A mindful morning routine is an act of self-respect, giving you control over the day rather than allowing the day to control you. Evenings, too, provide a chance for reflection. They are more than a time to rest. They are a space to review your thoughts, actions, and emotions. In Stoic philosophy, daily reflection is essential. By asking ourselves, how did I live today? How did I respond to challenges? We apply Stoic principles to our lives, learning and growing from our experiences. The Stoics regarded the body as sacred, the vessel of the soul. If the body is neglected, the mind cannot remain strong. The link between physical well-being and mental clarity is undeniable. A body in poor condition leads to a mind burdened by fatigue and fog. To maintain harmony between body and soul, physical habits like exercise, rest, and nourishment are not mere self-care. They are integral to mental strength and emotional stability. Time, as the Stoics remind us, is our most precious resource. It is fleeting, and once gone, it cannot be reclaimed. Wasting time is the greatest disservice to ourselves. Every moment is an opportunity to move closer to our values and goals. Productivity is not merely about doing more. It's about living with purpose and ensuring that each moment is used meaningfully. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, practiced daily journaling. It wasn't just a record of events. It was a dialogue with himself, a space for reflection and self-correction. His meditations were not just philosophical musings, but a way to face life's challenges with clarity and integrity. Journaling, too, can serve this purpose in our lives. It allows us to reflect, understand, and find direction when we feel lost. Start with a small habit, something simple and achievable. There's no need to rush the process. True success lies in persistence, not in speed. If health is your goal, begin with a 10-minute walk each day, gradually increasing as your body grows stronger. These small actions will not only build habits, but will also give you the confidence and motivation to keep going. Consistency is paramount. When an action becomes habitual, it no longer feels like a chore. It becomes part of who you are. If you miss a day, remember that progress is not about perfection, but about the willingness to return to your efforts. The journey is about persistence, not flawless execution. And always remember to connect your habits to a greater purpose. When your actions are aligned with your values and goals, the motivation to continue becomes infinitely stronger. This is the essence of living consciously, the heart of Stoic philosophy. This process not only strengthens your perseverance, but also instills a deep sense of fulfillment, as each day becomes a meaningful step toward your greater aspirations. Habits are not merely repetitive actions. They're the deliberate path that trains your mind, spirit, and soul. As habits evolve into an intrinsic part of who we are, we gain the strength to face any challenge with calm and inner fortitude. On this journey, the significance lies not only in the grand goals, but in every small step taken along the way. By starting with the smallest actions, guided by persistence and self-discipline, you will gradually forge profound and lasting transformations in your life. Discipline yourself to break through personal limits. Once solid daily habits are established, the next step in sustaining and elevating them is discipline. If habits form the foundation of your life, discipline is the force that binds them. Without it, even the noblest intentions can crumble. Discipline isn't simply about initiation. It's about the strength to continue, especially when things are tough or uncomfortable. When motivation wanes, it is discipline that ensures you remain committed, pushing forward without faltering. This inner fortitude is what allows you to transcend your limits, achieving success beyond what you once imagined. Self-discipline serves as a guiding light in the darkest moments of life. When no applause rings, no one cheers you on, and recognition seems distant. It is in these moments that self-discipline becomes your unwavering companion, helping you persist even when your energy is low and distractions are abundant. Self-discipline is not merely about adherence to rules. It is a profound act of self-love. It reflects your understanding that every step of perseverance, every hard decision, draws you closer to the life you deeply desire. It is the invisible but mighty thread that keeps you whole when temptation calls, when the initial excitement fades, and when the comfort of giving up seems so appealing. Discipline is not for the easy times. It is most essential when challenge is close in, when motivation has evaporated, and when enthusiasm is a distant memory. It is self-discipline that provides the clarity to stay on course, guiding you steadfastly toward your dreams. More than just a tool to keep you on track, self-discipline is a very engine that turns aspirations into reality. Day by day, step by step, this power of self-discipline allows you to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, not obstacles to avoid. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas can be swept away in a sea of procrastination and old habits. But those who master themselves, who patiently pursue their goals despite the obstacles, are the ones who travel the farthest on life's journey. Self-discipline begins with the realization that discomfort, challenge, and hardship are inevitable parts of life. No true success comes from the easy path, and those who seek greatness must accept this truth. Stoicism reminds us that enduring discipline is the gateway to a life of greater meaning and purpose. Self-discipline goes beyond the physical realm. It is about mastering the mind. It is the ability to control chaotic thoughts, to prevent fleeting desires from overtaking our emotions, and to guide ourselves toward higher objectives. Think about why it's so easy to fall into procrastination, to surrender to laziness, or to chase fleeting pleasures. It's because without discipline, emotions overwhelm reason, and the lure of temporary satisfaction trumps long-term fulfillment. But those with discipline recognize that life is not about chasing instant gratification. They choose to forego the present comforts for a more meaningful, enduring future. Self-discipline is a power to delay short-term pleasure for the sake of future rewards. It is a courage to resist the tempting distractions because you know deeper, more lasting rewards await. This mindset, the ability to delay gratification, is a cornerstone of sustainable success. Consider the lives of athletes, talented artists, or great leaders. They've sacrificed countless days of comfort to achieve greatness in their fields, devoting themselves fully to their passions. It's like climbing a mountain. Every step upward demands effort, a battle between fatigue and willpower. You could rest, admire the view, but discipline drives you to continue, knowing that the most magnificent view lies ahead. Self-discipline is not an easy road. It requires persistence, especially when the drive to quit is strongest, when motivation has dwindled to nothing, and only your unwavering will can keep you moving. But once you break through your own limitations, you'll realize that the reward is not only external success. It is an inner freedom and strength that no one can take from you. Self-discipline doesn't mean denying yourself all pleasures. It's about the ability to discern what truly matters. It is about prioritizing lasting values over transient distractions. As discipline becomes a natural part of your life, it no longer feels like an endless struggle. Instead, it becomes a journey of self-discovery, leading you step by step toward the best version of yourself. Stoicism teaches us that cultivating a disciplined mind begins by focusing on our deepest thoughts and beliefs. When you come to believe in your ability to maintain discipline, that belief influences not only your mindset, but also your actions. You no longer wait for motivation to appear, because you understand that motivation is not a prerequisite for action. You trust that by simply starting, motivation will follow, growing in strength as you progress. Consider the common situation where you want to build the habit of exercising every morning. Today, however, motivation is absent and it seems easy to quit. But instead of surrendering, trust that even the smallest action, putting on your workout clothes, stepping outside for a brief walk, will ignite motivation. This small victory sparks momentum, breaking procrastination cycle, and builds discipline over time. Discipline is like planting a seed. From small actions, you cultivate trust in yourself, gradually developing the strength to endure and overcome obstacles. Each choice to act over delay enhances your personal power, sharpening your focus and enabling you to achieve more. Every action, no matter how small, is a triumph, not just over procrastination, but over your own limitations. With each small, persistent action, you lay a foundation for greater discipline, where willpower and action merge, opening doors to success and self-mastery. Stoicism invites us to see self-discipline not as a burden, but as an expression of self-care, a commitment to stay true to the higher version of ourselves, regardless of the temptations and distractions that may arise. Self-discipline is one of the highest forms of integrity. By maintaining discipline, especially during tough times, you prove your self-worth and show respect for your future self. This isn't just about building resilience. It's a form of self-love. It's about the person you are becoming, not just the person you are today. So, ask yourself, are the choices you're making today leading you toward the future you want to create? Discipline isn't about forcing yourself. It's about empowering yourself. It's the means by which you take control of your life and live meaningfully. Each decision, every action, is a chance to affirm your values and move closer to your goals. Discipline transforms daily tasks into opportunities to reflect on what truly matters. It's the steady force that enables you to weather any storm and change your life from the inside out. By consistently choosing the path of discipline, you reshape not just your behavior, but your entire perspective on life. It becomes a foundation of everything you desire. Every action becomes a step forward, and every choice made aligns you with your deeper sense of purpose. This is what makes discipline so powerful. It doesn't just help you handle immediate challenges. It reshapes you into the person capable of overcoming them, turning emotions into a compass for life. Once you ingrain self-discipline into your life, you're ready to face a new challenge. Emotions. While discipline keeps you on track, emotions can be unpredictable, often shifting your course. but rather than avoiding or suppressing them. Stoicism encourages you to understand and wisely use them. Emotions like anger or anxiety are inevitable. Life will bring moments of frustration, hurt, or disappointment. But the key isn't to avoid these feelings. It's to change how we respond to them. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The real strength is in creating space between feeling and reacting. That moment where you can pause, reflect, and choose a more thoughtful response instead of reacting impulsively. Emotions don't last forever, but in moments of intense emotion, it can be hard to remember that. So, when emotions arise, ask yourself, why did this make me feel angry? What's really behind this anxiety? For example, imagine a colleague criticizes your work during a meeting. The immediate response might be anger, perhaps because you feel embarrassed or fear being judged. But if you pause and ask yourself why, you might realize it's not the criticism itself causing the anger, but a fear of judgment. By understanding the root cause, you take control of your emotions rather than being controlled by them. Managing emotions doesn't mean ignoring them or pretending they don't exist. It means recognizing them for what they are, temporary signals from the mind. You don't have to act on them right away. Instead, give yourself time to reflect, let the emotions settle, and then decide how to respond in a way that aligns with your values. Emotional mastery isn't an overnight achievement. It's a daily practice. Every stressful moment or unexpected challenge is a test. View these as opportunities to grow stronger. For example, imagine a day where everything seems out of control. If you can see stress as an opportunity to strengthen your emotional control, you'll find yourself becoming more resilient with each experience. Letting go. Another crucial aspect of emotional mastery is learning to let go of things beyond your control. We often get emotionally tied to outcomes, especially when we put in a lot of effort. But there are countless factors outside of our control, no matter how hard we try. Take athletes like Novak Djokovic. He trains relentlessly, but he knows the outcome of each match is influenced by many unpredictable factors. His ability to let go of the result and focus on the present moment is key to success. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the process, not the result. We control our effort, not the outcome. Once we release our attachment to the result, we free ourselves from unnecessary anxiety. This is the essence of emotional mastery, knowing when to let go and when to focus on what's in our power. Resilience through emotional mastery. When you've learned to control your emotions, life storms no longer throw you off course. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming become manageable obstacles. But this doesn't mean you'll never feel pain, anger, or sadness again. Emotions are a natural part of being human. Mastering emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means understanding and using them for personal growth. When faced with difficult situations, whether it's a setback at work or a personal betrayal, your emotions will naturally rise. This is normal. The key is to pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is this emotion trying to teach me about myself and my situation? Mastering your emotions also allows for deeper connections with others. Instead of reacting defensively, you can approach conversations with empathy and understanding. When someone criticizes you, you can listen calmly, knowing that their opinion doesn't define your worth. By controlling your reactions, you foster better relationships and deeper understanding. In the end, emotional mastery is a lifelong journey, but it's one that leads to profound self-discovery, growth, and resilience. By learning to navigate your emotions, you not only transform your own life, but also create more meaningful, intentional connections with those around you. Emotional mastery fosters harmonious relationships because you're no longer swayed by fleeting feelings. It's not just about managing negative emotions like anger, anxiety, or fear. More importantly, it's about nurturing the positive ones so they become a driving force. Each day offers a chance to notice the beauty in small moments. Whether it's the smile of a loved one, the warmth of the morning sun, or the simple pleasure of a cup of tea, focusing on these positives is a conscious choice. When you master both the negative and the positive sides of the emotional spectrum, you don't just exist, you truly experience life with serenity, joy, and profound gratitude. This balance is the key to a meaningful life, one driven by reason and guided by a heart that understands. Starting the process of emotional control is like learning to understand your own soul, a gentle yet profound journey. Think of standing on a beach, listening to the waves crashing against the shore. Those waves are your emotions, sometimes fierce, sometimes calm. The key is not to resist them, but to listen. Every emotion, whether anger, anxiety, or sadness, has a purpose. Ask yourself, where is this emotion coming from? And what is it trying to teach you? Taking a moment to understand your feelings is the first step. Only when you recognize the root of your emotions can you begin to guide them, rather than being swept away by them. Once you've identified your emotions, shift your focus to your breath. Deep, deliberate breaths help you stay grounded in the present moment. The anxiety may still be there, but as you focus on your breath, it will begin to dissipate, much like morning mist. Picture your emotions as clouds in the sky, sometimes obscuring the sun, but always temporary. Mastering your emotions isn't about banishing them, but allowing them to pass gently without clinging. Each time you do this, you come closer to a state of inner peace and self-control. Emotional control isn't about becoming detached, but growing stronger in the quiet stillness of your inner self. Emotions are not your enemy. They are messages, signals that you can choose to listen to and learn from, rather than letting them dictate your actions. The journey to emotional mastery is less about struggle and more about a graceful dance between reason and emotion, guiding you toward a life of tranquility and clarity. Saying no, prioritizing what matters. If emotions help us navigate life's ups and downs, then the courage to say no is key to protecting what truly matters. Once we've learned to use emotions to guide us, we need the strength to refuse external demands that threaten to take us off course. Learning how to say no is essential in regaining control over our lives. Saying no is an act of maturity and self-awareness. Behind every refusal is a deep recognition of your own worth and a commitment to protecting what matters most. When you say no to things that don't align with your values, you're actually saying yes to yourself, to your goals, and to your happiness. Time and energy are precious, finite resources. Once spent, they can never be reclaimed. Saying yes to every request, no matter how small, can leave you feeling drained and unfocused. It can make you feel like you're running in circles, busy, but not getting closer to your true goals. Saying no is not just about protecting your time. It's about safeguarding your well-being and maintaining focus on what truly matters. When you refuse unnecessary commitments, you create space for clarity. This clarity helps you assess your life with perspective and make decisions that align with your true values. Clear thinking and decisive actions become the guiding lights that help you move forward with confidence. Consider how many times you regretted saying yes to things that added no real value to your life. How often have you wondered if you'd be closer to your goals if you'd said no? Saying no creates space for what truly matters. Every time you refuse something unnecessary, you open the door to something more meaningful. Saying no is also an act of courage. The courage to reject pressures and expectations from others or society that don't align with your path. Dare to put yourself first, not out of selfishness, but because you deserve the right to choose what is best for you. Others may be disappointed or may challenge your decision, but that only reinforces the truth that your choices are valid. Your life is yours to determine, not anyone else's. Imagine you are the artist painting the canvas of your life. Will you let others fill it with colors they choose, or will you hold on to your own palette, painting only what adds beauty and meaning? Saying no is how you take control, ensuring that every stroke, every detail reflects what you truly desire and value. Saying no isn't just about protecting boundaries. It's about opening a door to deeper self-awareness. Each decision becomes a moment to confront yourself, to recognize the values you truly honor, and to dedicate your life to what matters most. Stoicism teaches us that saying no isn't indifference, but a courageous affirmation of what truly matters. It's how we stay loyal to our purpose and stay focused on the path we've chosen. Rejecting things that don't align with your path becomes a natural act, one that frees you rather than causing a sense of loss. Instead of feeling as though you're missing out, you'll begin to realize you're creating space, precious space, to focus on what truly matters. Saying no is not just a boundary. It's a way of maintaining clarity, of protecting your heart and mind from distractions that pull you off course. In truth, saying no is an antidote to regret. How often have you said yes to avoid disappointing others, only to feel hollow later, realizing that in fulfilling someone else's expectations, you betrayed your own values? That moment of regret is the uncomfortable realization that your decisions weren't aligned with your true self. But when you find the strength to say no, there's relief, a quiet peace that settles within you. You've chosen a path that serves you, a path rooted in your values and goals. Learning to say no is an act of empowerment. Not only protect yourself, but to create space for your spirit to breathe and grow. With each no, you create room for rest, for renewal, and for the creative energy that emerges from stillness. Overcommitting drains us. It steals our energy and stifles our ability to think clearly. When you dare to say no, you don't just preserve time and energy. You open the door to what matters most. Those breakthrough ideas, the dreams that need your attention, and the clarity that only a focused mind can provide. Saying no is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of honoring your inner space, the space where creativity thrives and deeper joys reside. Imagine each no as an invitation to welcome the opportunities that truly resonate with your soul. By rejecting the superfluous, you're carving out space for the things that make you come alive, that lead you to your higher purpose. Saying no also nurtures more authentic relationships. It may seem counterintuitive, but when you set boundaries, you're showing respect for both yourself and others. You're signaling that your commitments are meaningful, not driven by obligation, but by true intention. In truth, saying no helps build trust. It creates a foundation of sincerity, where your yes carries weight, and your no is a promise to yourself. Relationships built on this foundation are stronger and rooted in respect, understanding, and empathy. When you say no, you're not just protecting your time. You're demonstrating self-awareness, asserting your limits, and nurturing the kind of relationships that honor your true self. This act fosters trust, not just because you're clear about your boundaries, but because you're showing that you understand your own values and are unafraid to uphold them. There's a quiet strength in the ability to say no. It's not about avoiding responsibility or escaping hard choices. It's about reclaiming your focus and energy. When you make this choice, you begin to live more intentionally, prioritizing what matters most and shedding what doesn't serve you. In a world brimming with distractions, the courage to say no is your anchor, keeping you centered and your life in focus. Ask yourself, what truly matters to you? Do you have the courage to say no to preserve what's essential? And for the second part, I've shifted the tone as well. Letting go of the need for external validation is one of the most liberating steps you can take toward understanding what truly matters in life. Rejecting what doesn't align with your core values goes beyond simply saying no to obligations. It's a challenge to societal pressures, to impose expectations that too often determine our path. Today's world is full of noise. Social media, cultural definitions of success, and the constant comparison to others can all lead us down a path that is not our own. Take a moment to pause and reflect. Is the life you're living truly yours? Are you shaping it for yourself? Or are you caught in the cycle of trying to meet the expectations of others? The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When you uncover your personal why, you take control of your life. But if you let the world dictate your reasons, you'll find yourself in a constant state of dissatisfaction. Many live in search of approval. They chase relationships, success, and recognition, believing that their worth is tied to what others think. Yet, Stoicism offers a different path, a quieter, more powerful one. Stoic philosophy teaches that happiness doesn't come from external praise, but from cultivating peace within your soul, independent of what's happening around you. True emotional freedom isn't the absence of challenges. It's the ability to remain steady, unmoved by the fleeting praise or criticism of others. The more you seek approval from the world, the more you tie your self-worth to something external. But when you learn to stand firm in who you are, you free yourself from this cycle. As Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who is too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." It's not a lack of material wealth that creates poverty. It's the unquenchable thirst for validation. Seeking approval turns us into prisoners, forever chasing the next form of recognition, constantly giving away our power. Real strength, as Stoicism teaches, isn't in appearing perfect to others, It's an embracing yourself as you are, flaws and all. When you stop trying to live up to external standards, you will discover that your happiness is no longer dependent on others' opinions. Imagine a life free from the weight of judgment, where you no longer fear criticism or need to impress anyone. This is the freedom that comes within, a freedom that cannot be bought, but only earned through self-acceptance. The courage to live authentically is the most powerful form of self-love. When you embrace your own story, your own path, you no longer live for the approval of others. Instead, you live according to your values, your principles. This shift is not just mental. It's a profound change in how you approach each day. As Brené Brown says, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we'll ever do. When we step away from the need for approval, we step into our power. We no longer seek validation because we are whole and complete within ourselves. True freedom is not about controlling how others perceive you. It's about turning inward, living authentically, and owning your happiness. Ask yourself, why give others the power to shape your joy and purpose? Why place the meaning of your life in their hands? In Stoicism, we learn that no one can make us feel anything unless we allow them to. When you stop relying on others for your sense of worth, your relationships deepen. You approach others from a place of wholeness, no longer needing to prove anything. Your relationships become rooted in mutual respect, not in superficial validation. Let go of the constant search for approval, and you'll begin to reconnect with your true self. The pressure to conform to others' expectations will no longer weigh you down. Instead, you'll walk through life with confidence, guided by your own principles. This is a freedom that comes from living life on your terms, not anyone else's. Letting go of the need for external validation is not merely an act, but a personal journey, one that requires a deep shift in how we view ourselves and our worth. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It is a gradual process, shaped by patience and introspection. With time, we can learn to trust our inner self, stepping away from the constant need for society's approval. Stoicism teaches us that the first step in this journey is acknowledging that what comes from the outside, recognition, praise, and applause, is beyond our control. Compliments are fleeting, and external approval is unstable. Once we grasp this truth, we stop allowing these transient elements to influence our sense of self-worth. To begin letting go of external validation, we must cultivate self-awareness. We can pause, reflect, and ask ourselves, why do I need this recognition? Is my worth truly defined by others' opinions? Epictetus encourages us to focus on what is within our control. Our response to recognition, whether positive or negative, is entirely up to us. Through consistent self-reflection, we detach our emotions from the external world and regain our true sense of self. Often, we seek validation because we crave acceptance or reassurance of our worth. But upon closer reflection, we realize that external validation is just a fleeting reflection of our worth. It doesn't capture the depth of who we are. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "The approval of such men who do not even stand well in their own eyes has no value to me." His message is clear. If others lack self-awareness, their judgment of us cannot be trusted. Instead of chasing the fleeting approval of those who do not understand themselves, we must focus on cultivating self-acceptance. In doing so, we free ourselves from the invisible pressure to please others. Life is ours to live, and only when we live authentically for ourselves can we experience true freedom and happiness. The question is simple. Are you ready to let go of the need for approval from others? The answer lies within you, turning adversity into strength. When we free ourselves from the need for external validation, a quiet strength begins to emerge within us. This strength allows us to face challenges without being swayed by the opinions or judgment of others. It is at this moment, when we no longer rely on the approval of the world, that we truly begin our journey of transformation. Adversity is inevitable, but how we meet it determines our growth. Stoicism teaches us that adversity, rather than being a burden, is an opportunity for growth. Each challenge is a mirror, revealing our true nature, showing us the strength within that we may not have recognized before. As Epictetus said, circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. It is not the challenges that define us, but our response to them. When we face difficulty, we must ask ourselves, Will we succumb to fear, or will we find the strength to rise? Stoicism urges us to confront hardship directly, to take responsibility for how we react, and to focus on what we can control, our attitudes and our actions. Like steel forged in fire, we become stronger by overcoming challenges. Among the many tools Stoicism offers, acceptance is perhaps the most powerful. Acceptance does not mean surrender. It means facing reality with wisdom and equanimity. When we accept what we cannot control, we free ourselves from the burden of resistance and find peace in the midst of the storm. Adversity, painful as it may be, is fertile ground for growth. It teaches us courage, not just to face the world, but to face our own fears, limitations, and uncertainties. Each challenge that life presents is an opportunity to demonstrate resilience. It is not just a skill. It is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Life is full of unexpected twists, but Stoicism reminds us that mental flexibility is our compass through these tough times. In moments of adversity, we are not simply being tested. We are being granted the opportunity to discover our hidden strengths. Challenges are not to be feared. They push us out of our comfort zones, urging us to explore new paths, think creatively, and find innovative solutions. Adaptability becomes a hallmark of resilience, showing that even in the face of hardship, we can bend, adjust, and thrive. In the midst of difficulties, it is easy to retreat into solitude, but Stoicism teaches us that we are not meant to face the world alone. Adversity often brings us closer to those who truly care. It is in these shared struggles that we find strength, both in our relationships and in ourselves. Genuine affection and mutual support help us weather the storm, reminding us that through hardship, we discover which relationships are truly worth cherishing. Adversity reveals the depth of our character. It strips away the superficial distractions, status, wealth, and fame, leaving only what truly matters: courage, patience, and inner peace. When life challenges us, we are forced to reflect on our core values and priorities. In moments of great loss, whether from a career setback, a broken relationship, or illness, we realize that the things we once thought essential, like status or recognition, hold no weight. What truly sustains us is our capacity to remain grounded in our values, to love deeply, and to maintain a calm mind. In a world where success is often measured by external achievements, Stoicism teaches us that true success lies not in what we accumulate, but in the growth of our inner character. Adversity refines us, helping us discover what we truly need to live a meaningful life. It is not in the calm days that our souls are strengthened, but in the storms that shape us, challenging us to become more than we were before. By embracing adversity, we gain not only strength but clarity. Life's difficulties offer us profound opportunities for growth, both as individuals and in our relationships with others. We are tested by hardship, but it is through this testing that we find our greatest strength. Beyond survival, living with purpose and resilience. Adversity isn't just a hurdle. It's an invitation to deepen our understanding of life. It's more than a challenge we must face. It's a chance to reshape how we see the world. Stoicism teaches us that when hardship strikes, instead of fixating solely on the pain, we should ask, what does this teach me in the grand scheme of things? When we step back, we realize that difficulties are only fleeting moments in the flow of time, and in that moment, the challenge loses its power over us. It's no longer the adversity itself that defines us, but our response to it. Take, for instance, the experience of losing a job after years of dedication. It might feel like everything is falling apart, but through the lens of Stoicism, this is an opportunity, not just to mourn but to reflect, explore new paths, or simply pause. Stoicism doesn't just teach endurance. It teaches us to use our struggles as stepping stones to growth. Adversity also deepens our empathy. Those who face pain or loss understand the suffering of others better. When you felt the weight of sleepless nights filled with anxiety, you can relate to the loneliness someone else is experiencing. This shared understanding fosters compassion, reminding us that everyone carries burdens and we are capable of supporting each other through them. When faced with adversity, instead of asking, why me, we ask, what can I learn from this? How can this challenge help me grow? By changing the question, we transform adversity from an enemy into a teacher, offering invaluable lessons in patience, empathy, and resilience. What truly matters is not how many obstacles we avoid, but how we find the strength to face them, rise, and grow stronger each time. Are you ready to turn adversity into the forge where your strength is shaped? Every challenge is an opportunity for refinement, a chance to expand your capacity for endurance and growth, strengthening your belief in yourself, overcoming doubt. In our earlier discussion, we explored how adversity can fuel personal growth, but on this journey, there's a final hurdle to overcome: the voice of doubt. It's not loud or obvious. It's subtle but persistent. This inner critic, the whisperer, constantly whispers self-doubt, criticism, and fear, trying to convince you that you're not enough, that failure is inevitable, and that others will judge you harshly. To master our lives and shape our destinies, we must learn to quiet this voice and nurture an unwavering belief in ourselves. Stoicism teaches that the true battle isn't against external circumstances, but against the thoughts within our minds. The whisperer lives off insecurity, fear, and judgment. It thrives when we focus on what's beyond our control: other people's opinions, future outcomes, and imagined failures. But Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. When you master these, you regain control. Self-doubt often arises when we latch on to negative possibilities. What could go wrong? What might fail? The whisperer magnifies these fears, making them seem insurmountable. But have you asked yourself, is it really that bad? Stoicism encourages us to face failure as a natural part of growth, not something to fear. The true power lies in action, not in the outcome. Focus on what you can do now, and trust that your consistent efforts will lead you to your true strength. Take, for example, the struggle to learn something new, be it a skill or a craft. In the beginning, everything seems impossible. The whisperer starts to say, "I'm not good enough. I'll never compare to others." But remember, everyone's journey is unique. The comparisons you make only rob you of your individuality. Instead, focus on your own progress, no matter how small. Your true strength lies in your willingness to keep going, to improve bit by bit. The fears planted by the whisperer are often inflated. Imagine scenarios that may never happen. It's easy to hesitate, to wonder if you'll fail. But when you face these fears head-on, you'll realize they're not as big as they seem. Courage is the key to dispelling their power. Stoicism teaches us to use reason over emotion. In the face of doubt, take a step back, think logically, and separate fact from fear. By doing so, the negative voice loses its power, and your belief in yourself grows stronger. Confidence doesn't come from waiting for perfection. It's built through consistent, courageous actions, even when fear lingers. The whisperer will always try to plant doubt, especially at critical moments. It will tell you that you're not ready, that you're bound to fail. But remember, others' opinions, whether positive or negative, are beyond your control and do not define your worth. True freedom comes when you stop seeking external validation. Confidence is forged from standing firm, even amid uncertainty. The more you trust yourself and your ability to act, the more your inner strength will grow. Nurturing belief in yourself is a challenging yet beautiful journey. It's not about simply building confidence. It's about embracing how you choose to live. When you believe in yourself, challenges shrink and new opportunities emerge, filled with purpose. Life's journey becomes meaningful when we understand that adversity isn't a burden, but the very material from which we shape our personal strength. Stoicism teaches us not to merely survive, but to live with intention, mastering ourselves, our thoughts, and our actions. Through this mastery, we forge a life worth living. You are the architect of your own destiny. Design it with purpose, courage, and resilience.